What is up, everybody? My name's Eric with Flowbass, and today I'm going to give you my review on the Shimano CURADO 200K. Now, if you're watching this video and you don't know about the CURADO, basically this is considered to be kind of the Black Knight guarding the bridge that separates the Shimano's entry-level reels over their higher-end like sports car reels like the Metanium. It's definitely their workhorse. A lot of people on tour use this particular reel. It's got a lot of features upgraded over the entry-level reels. It's very smooth. It's has great operation, great casting, great drag, but it doesn't quite have the crazy high-end features that their $300 and $400 reels have, but definitely a true workhorse. This thing takes a beating, keeps on ticking. Now, I wanted to do an honest review for you guys. I didn't just want to do an unboxing, take the reel out of the package and just read off the different features that it has that are listed on Shimano's website. I've been fishing this reel for about 4 weeks now. I definitely have a lot of casts, a lot of time under my belt with this reel, so I feel that I have enough experience to give you an honest and true review and let you know what I like about this reel and the things that I don't like about this reel. So right off the bat, having fished the 200i, I noticed right away that the 200K, the frame is actually slightly smaller in both length and width. Definitely fits in the hand very nicely. The lower profile definitely helps, especially during hook sets. I got a really good purchase on this reel, so I can really crank back and set the hook, get great hook penetration with this. It's less fatiguing on your hand. So yeah, I really like that. That was the first thing I noticed. As soon as I spooled this up, put it on the rod, I noticed that this feels amazing in the hand. Next thing I want to talk about is the spool tension knob on the CURADO 200K. Now, as you're tightening this, the first thing I noticed is as you're starting to approach somewhat of a tight tension on the spool, it loads up nice and slow. It's very smooth. It kind of has like a spongy feeling to it as you start to tighten it. It takes a little bit of getting used to coming from the 200i, but now that I've fished with it for a while now, I definitely have gotten used to it, and you can really dial in the tension and make your cast perfect and dramatically reduce the backlash and bird's nest that you get with this particular reel. So, and speaking about backlash, of course, it's got the infinity braking system. I was in a situation where it was super windy and I was facing the other bank where my back was facing the wind, and I was, casting great, making these long bomb casts. And then when I switched over to the other bank, I was facing into the wind, and just a quick couple turns of the knob, I was able to adjust the tension and basically eliminate the backlash that I had the previous cast, and I just kept on going. Didn't have to open up the reel or do any adjustments there. It was super quick and super easy. I've always loved that feature with the 200i, and it's great that they've carried it over into the 200K. Now, the drag on the 200K is pretty much the same as the 200i. A huge thing that I love about the CURADOs, the I and the K, is that the drag star only takes a couple clicks and you dramatically adjust the amount of drag on the spool. So you're not having to, there's some other reels that I have where you have to turn that drag star and make full revolutions to make any kind of a difference with the drag. I don't even think I've had to turn it a full half turn in order to get the desired drag that I'm looking for. It's typically about a quarter of a turn, 3 to 5 clicks, and I've got this drag dialed in where I want it. When I'm fighting the fish, I can back off very quickly. I'm not having to, thumb that drag star a lot, so that's a huge improvement that I personally like. Now, something that I feel is an absolute godsend, when it comes to the new CURADO K are two features that come hand in hand. One is the brand new blazing fast 8:5-to-1 gear ratio. I absolutely love that they got rid of the 5:6-to-1 and replaced that with the 8:5-to-1. Now, speaking of the gear ratios that they currently offer the CURADO K in, is 6:2-to-1, 7:4-to-1, and 8:5-to-1, which is what I have here in my hands. Now, the super fast gear ratio comes in very handy, especially if you've got the bait out there and you're fishing it along the bottom or whatever you're doing, and you see fish start to feed somewhere where your lure isn't, you can blaze the lure back in and make that cast, get to those fish quickly before the frenzy stops, and you can capitalize on extra bites that way. I've definitely done that, and with a few fish catches with this reel, I'm super grateful for it. I've definitely was able to capitalize on that opportunity at the very moment it happened, and I didn't lose any time, and I got those fish. Now, the second feature that I love about this reel that goes hand in hand with the gear ratio is that oversized handle on this thing. If you look at my 200i, I've got actually a Hogtech hog handle on this thing. It was like an absolute necessity to this reel when I installed it. It just made fishing, the overall experience, so much better. I felt like I was able to put a little extra torque on those fish when I was fighting them in, and it helps with line speed as well. Reeling the bait back in, especially fishing a lot of top water and like buzz frogs with this. It just seems to help pick up line a lot faster, and yeah, I absolutely love that. And I was happy to find out they were putting an oversized handle on the 200K. That made me so happy. And if you compare the handles, they are exactly the same. It's 102 millimeters. I absolutely love that. And of course, the grips, the power grip 2s that are on this thing, they feel amazing. So definitely a huge factor for me personally. I love that oversized handle. Another upgrade I like about the 200K are actually the brakes inside the spool here. They're a lot easier to use than the 200i. You don't have to, slide them to the left and then click them open. It's just basically up and down. It's very quick, so it makes adjusting it a lot easier. And those little red brakes in the 200i, I've broken a few of those. So that was they felt a little cumbersome to me. These are much easier. Now, obviously, I've only fished this for 4 weeks, so only time's gonna tell how durable they actually are. But so far, since they're very easy to use, I feel like I personally am gonna break and lose a lot less of these. So I really like that as well. Now, the one thing I don't like about the Curado is that if you have too much tension on the spool knob, you cannot open up the side plate here and access the brakes. You have to loosen up this almost all the way to be able to open this and access the brakes in here, which is really annoying because if you have this, dialed in just perfect to where you've got the right amount of spool tension and you've got your backlashes almost completely eliminated, and you have to go and change the brakes for whatever reason, you've got a different size lure or whatever, it's really annoying that you have to loosen up the spool knob and basically have to dial in your reel all over again. So that's the one thing that I do not like about this. Other than that, I definitely recommend the Curado 200K if you're looking for a new bait caster. If you're not looking to spend over $200, definitely take a look at this guy. This reel feels amazing. It feels like a high-end reel, but it doesn't have that high-end price tag, which I absolutely love. And this is definitely a workhorse that holds true to this reel for sure. So guys, if you liked my review of the 200K, hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. It'll help me do more reviews and get my content out to a bigger audience so I can make more and more videos for you guys. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every single week. You don't want to miss out on these videos. I've got some awesome ones in store for you. And of course, if you have any items, reels, rods, baits, or anything like that that you want me to review, drop it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to check them out for you guys and give you my review on them. So, I'm Eric. I appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next week. Peace out.